Shannon Avison in the studio with me. We're going to be doing a little bit of chat. Shannon and I, we graduated in 1979, many, many years ago. But we've got a couple of messages, and then I'll be back with Shannon.
Northwest Community TV has spoken with Northern Native Broadcasting Yukon to air Oshagoon. Oshagoon, which means our ancestors in Tlingit, was produced over 16 seasons in 30-minute episodes. It was originally broadcast on APTN and its predecessor, TV Northern Canada, between 1992 and 2008. The program showcases Yukon First Nation elders as a means of presenting and preserving the culture and language heritage. Oshagoon will air Tuesday at 8 p.m., Friday at 10, and again Sunday at 11 a.m. Oshagoon is on Northwestel Community TV, Channel 9, 209, and now in high definition on Channel 709.
CHON FM is looking for a full-time dynamic salesperson. This is an exciting opportunity to make a difference within an Indigenous organization. The successful candidate will be responsible for selling advertising airtime on the radio station and ads on social media. Sales experience is an asset, as well as having knowledge of Yukon First Nations people and culture. Enthusiasm is a must. For more details, visit our website at chonfm.com. To apply, please email your resume to mprokop@nmby.ca by August 2nd, 2019. It's now 20 minutes after 9, and I do have Shannon Avison in the studio with me. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very well.
Okay, I'm just going to get you to turn your mic a little bit around to face you, or bring it closer to you, because I can barely hear you. Move the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. So you went to the to our
40th.
40th. Yeah.
It's hard to say, I know.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
40 years ago, I guess we graduated from F.H. Collins, which is pretty amazing. You look amazing.
Well, you do too.
Well, thank you.
We've aged well.
Yeah. I don't even think of myself as being the age that I'm at, which I never talk about and never say the actual number.
Yeah.
I never do that. I used to, but I don't anymore. It's just one of those things built in, I guess, a mechanism. You just stop talking about how old you are.
Yeah, until you get really old, and then you're proud
and then you're 70, and then you go back to, this is how old I am.
Yeah.
So we're going to chat a little bit about a program that you do. So maybe just introduce yourself a little bit and what you're doing nowadays.
I will. So after I left the Yukon, my family moved to Regina, Saskatchewan, and I found out about the Saskatchewan Indian Federated College, which is now First Nations University of Canada, and we have campuses in Regina, Saskatoon, PA, in Saskatchewan, and we also do programs at the Yukon College, for example, and at some other First Nations Indigenous colleges across Canada. So I took a program called Indian Communication Arts, and now it's called Indigenous Communication Arts. And it's changed a lot, of course, because media has changed so much. So we do, every second summer, we do, the degree, the diploma itself is about 2.5, almost 3 years, depending how much time you want to take, to do the whole diploma. And it's basically sort of a pre-journalism, gets you started in journalism, but also gives you some basics in Indigenous studies, Indigenous languages, math, history, political science, that sort of thing. But we do part of the program. The fun part is called the INCA Summer Institute in Journalism. So every second year. So the next one will be 2020. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking for both students and instructors for 2020. And it's basically a crash course in journalism, and it's changed tremendously over time. You can imagine I started out in the 80s. It was like, we never even thought of, I didn't even have a computer at that time. So, yeah, so.
In the 80s. Yeah, actually, I went to BCIT and got my certificate in radio broadcasting there.
Yeah.
And that was a 2-year program, which is, pretty good, and I enjoyed it quite well. But this program that we're talking about, it's like a 6-week?
Yeah, 7 weeks long, and we usually run it in May, June, because that gives people who have kids a chance to, when we wrap up, they can take off the summer with their kids if they
Yeah.
want to go in Saskatchewan. Lots of people go to on powwows. And so May, June, 7 weeks. And some students afterwards use that July, August, and do an internship. So that's a possibility. If somebody, for example, came from the Yukon, they might do our crash course, check out, see if you like journalism, and then come back to CHON or to CBC North and or to the Chicat, I know, is just fabulous. Yeah. And then do an internship, like a supervised placement, where you get some more experience on the job. So that's the nice combination, kind of a 1-2.
So if there are students that are interested, or somebody that's interested in doing this 7-week crash course on journalism, what sort of funding is available for them? Do you know? So
some students have, in Saskatchewan, it's band funding. I know you have a whole different arrangement here with your funding. It's if you do both the Summer Institute and the internship, you're technically considered to be a full-time student for the whole summer.
Okay.
And so usually it takes a little bit of advanced planning. But they're also so working with the First Nations and figuring out if there's funding available for something like that. There's also funding available through organizations like Inspire, which has the Achievement Awards, and they've funded a lot of students for the Summer Institute because it sort of fits them. It's a short course. It's hands-on. It's Indigenous media.
Yeah. So Inspire, would that be right across Canada, or is that just specific to where Regina?
No. Inspire is across Canada. It used to be called the National Aboriginal Achievement Foundation.
Oh, okay.
And they do the awards every year, and so now they've changed the name to Inspire, and it's spelled INDSPIRE.
Okay.
So if you look up inspire.com or .ca, you'll find their funding. So.
And there's bursaries there that are available?
Yeah,
okay.
for media.
Cool. So when can they start applying to participate in this quick course?
The best thing to do is get a hold of me, and I'll give you my contact information and so on before I leave. I'm at the First Nations University of Canada in the INCA program, so if you phone, everybody kind of knows me. But I'll leave my information with you, and maybe we could post it.
Yeah, we can put it on CHON FM.
We have to take a selfie, like the before and after selfie. No,
I'm afraid not.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean, before the interview and after the interview?
No.
What are you gonna do to me?
No. I was thinking, well, we should post like our pictures from 1979.
Yeah. No. That's good. That's good.
Okay.
I'm not really. I don't really go to any of those. Reunions?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, it was funny because for me, I'm coming from away, so it's an opportunity to come back. And my youngest sister actually did come back to the Yukon, to Whitehorse, and she raised her family here. And then slowly, my daughter's was up here a couple of years ago. And she's planning to come back. She's doing paramedic school right now in Saskatchewan, and she's hoping to come back and set up, get a job, hopefully as a paramedic. She also is a lifeguard, so she can kind of, if she has to wait around, and then also set up a dog rescue. So I don't know if anybody needs a dog rescue, but
well, you never know.
Yeah,
you never know.
Yeah.
So going back to this program, you have a telephone number, and is there a date? A deadline date for when they can apply? Not really. We take students right up within weeks of starting. So, and we start, usually it's early in May. So I mean, in order to get your funding and everything organized, it's good to start as soon as possible, of course. Right. And so, because in May we do, the way it's structured, we do 1 week of kind of overall, like what is journalism, what are the responsibilities of journalism, what are the legal and ethical requirements, and then we do print journalism, so old style, newspaper writing, which does translate into writing for the web, of course, because so many sites like CHON have beautiful websites now, and so the news gets put up there. So being able to write for that, and then we actually last 2 years ago, we had an intensive training program with Twitter Canada, because Twitter, of course, is a great tool for journalists. And I heard you this morning talking about how Facebook is a good tool, like so many stories. Amazing.
Yeah. And then we do 2 weeks of radio, so the students learn how to produce a radio news story, and then they come together, and we usually do a National Aboriginal Day show for our Saskatchewan, our version of CHON, which is Mississippi.
Okay.
And so we do, the students actually produce a show that goes to air, and then they in the last 2 weeks, we do television, so they learn how to crash course. And we know that not everybody comes in with lots of background, so we have professional editors, and they're all Aboriginal journalists. Like, so we pull from, I've got graduates from years ago from Global, CTV. One of my students from a long time ago is now the managing editor for CBC North.
Oh,
his name's Mervyn Brass. So he was in Whitehorse the other day, so we got to have a catch up and so on. So he's recruiting, and I know CHON's recruiting, and I know you've got an intern here for the summer too. So so anybody who's and the thing about the 7-week crash course is if you think you might be interested in journalism, you'll know at the end of 7 weeks. You'll either love it or you'll think, no, too stressful, too crazy for me. So it's a really good opportunity to kind of like make a decision. And even if you don't end up going into journalism, so many organizations need people that actually, can help organize an interview or reach out to the media and get their message out about, whatever is elections or programs that are available. So a lot of my students actually end up in what we think of as like communication or public relations, so the other side of journalism. And so it's a great opportunity for them because they know some journalists, they know how journalists work, they know about deadlines, they know about clips and how to say things in a short, succinct way. And so it's, I think about half my students go journalism and half go communications. And then I'm working sometimes in Saskatchewan it's for the Crowns and the departments, the government departments, but a lot are starting to get work in the tribal councils and in the First Nations.
Yeah, cool. Sounds wonderful. So is there a cap on how many students you can take?
Yeah, we have 25.
Okay.
And last year we had 18 in the program.
Okay.
So and as I say, if people get a hold of me in advance, we can. Even if you think you might be interested, I have kind of a working list. If you think you'd be interested, then I'll keep in touch with you and kind of work it out because it is challenging to get your funding in place. And then in Regina, because it's summertime, all of our university residences are pretty empty. Mostly only international students stay over the summer, so you'll be. It's kind of neat because you get to hang with people from Africa and from the Arab countries and South America and so on. So, so you can meet people from all over the place and live in the residence, which is right across the street from the First Nations University. And First Nations University is gorgeous. If you've seen a picture of it, it's in 2003 we got a new building, and it's built by Douglas Cardinal. Mm-hmm. So it's 2 beautiful glass teepees. One is a ceremonial teepee. Wow. And then one is the Veterans Memorial Teepee, which was sponsored by our SIGA, our gaming authority. And so, it's a beautiful facility. And the students come from all over Canada. We had one student from Yellowknife, an Inuk, a woman from Yellowknife last year, and she enjoyed herself. And then a woman from Vancouver. And so students come from all over. So, and it was nice, the lady from Yellowknife, I mean, we don't know very much about Inuit people. And so it was really neat because for all these First Nations people, they kind of hear about like Eskimos or Inuit, and for them to learn about her culture. And so there's lots of sharing and whatever people bring. And she brought fish, and so it was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good deal. Okay, so what is the contact information for you?
So my name is Shannon Avison, and so my email is S for Shannon, and then AVISON, and then at FN for First Nations, and then UNIV, which is first 4 letters of university, so FNUNIV.ca.
Okay, and then is there a telephone number they can call you at?
Yep.
And leave a voicemail? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. So my cell number is 306-536-8069.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming in. And,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, happy that you came up and had a chance to see everybody.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Good deal. So we're going to get back into some more music. Here is Seaweed, and the name of that tune, Redemption. Cool.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So Rob Smith TV, he works in APTN.
Yeah.
And he's based out of Vancouver.
Okay.
Brenda Chambers is over in
she was
BC.
she was in my sister's grade.
Yeah.
In at FH.
Yeah.
And where is she now?
She's in Vancouver.
In Vancouver, yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for instructors.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
okay.
very, very good.
And Ron Smith?
Rob.
Rob Smith. Okay,
Rob Smith,
perfect.
APPN.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's here we have Leonard Linklater, who works at CBC, and we have myself, but I'm too busy. There's just no way I'd be able to even commit, even if it's next year. I'm like incredibly busy.
Yeah.
But George Henry, he might be somebody that you might want to bring in, or his wife Jan Staples.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a few.
That's awesome.
As far as the instruction goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, George Henry was one of the people that started CHON, I think.
Yeah.
Or NNBY.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you didn't come to the reunion, but I brought you a bag.
Oh.
You never have too many bags, I
Oh my
figure.
God! Yeah, 40th, eh?
Yeah.
I didn't even know about it. See, Linda Steinbach,
She's a crazy one.
She stopped sending me invites.
Oh, is that right?
I never go. I'm not interested, simply because I don't live in the past. I live in the future. And
and I find a lot of people from Whitehorse, they were the ones that didn't come because they see each other all the time, so it's no big deal, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, for us that went away, it's like a treat to come back.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Can we do a selfie?
Yeah, sure.
And
Jackie Lytle, did she make it here?
she did.
Oh, okay,
She
cool.
did, yeah, with her husband. She's got a nice Montana husband, kind of cowboy guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really nice. It's funny because